because it was like fail and answer back and let me see it.
That light, the sky is normal bulb. But I don't have, I still have normal bulb. I will like LEDs now. So I had some electronic ones, so I put like electronic ones. But I'm going to change the whole thing and put the LED. But they stay on all the time.
And then it's cheaper.
Yeah, I'm trying that.
Alright, Sandy. Where else everyone? How are you going? The apron? The apron? Grandson? Yeah. Oh, you have a boy? Yeah. Oh, good. Congratulations. So when you go like you put a ring?
What's something on that they don't have it. We say Nambayana, I have that. Oh, okay. Yes. Shimada. Plus the lady come now. Where is the Pokaro? Shimada is doing. Sometime in life you have to listen to this.
But they're so connected to the church.
Every night.
I love them children.
माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है। O माँ, your motherly affection awakens the chords of love in my heart for your lotus feet. श्वास श्वास की रक्षा करती, पग पग प्राण जगाती है। It protects every breath and every step of my life. तू ऋषियों की रिद्धि सिद्धि, तू ब्रह्मा की भक्ति माँ। You're the mystic thought of the rishis and the divine energy of Brahma. You're also the consort of Vishnu, the form of Lakshmi. And the Shakti, the power of Lord Shiva. Our humble adorations again and again to your lotus feet.
When is it?
Monday. The 6th.
We could still do the 9th. We have it. 3 days I can make it.
The tree is up there, right?
Boss.
So this is what
So somebody on my thing. So you look at our phone. Sitaram. Sitaram. So in a few seconds, a few minutes from now, we'll start. And today we'll change it up a little in the sense that our drummer, Renuka, is every month she's here with us but her mother is not well. So we understand. And Alekwan did not so well too. So what we'll do, we will do satsang in the form of kirtan, and we do a few explanations, and we will complete our promise that we have made. His Ramayan, and for Mama also. And today we don't only pray for Mama and our Guruji, but also for Rakeshji, the son of Tanti Subhagi, and Uncle George, and Uncle Daniram also who had passed. So we pray for all those in our temple who have been here with us. We recognize their atmas, your voices and our voices. We will make it happen. So we will try something a little bit different today. Since it's on a quiet note, we ask everyone to please let us close our eyes, let us bow our heads. And as we sit and we concentrate, we remember not only the good things, but we remember those souls, whatever impact that they had on our lives. Today we remember all those things. We remember the good old days, and we remember the good new days that we had with our Guruji and with Mama Parmasar. So today we close our eyes, we bow our heads and we pray, and we ask for Krishna to bless their atmas. And today we pray for all the atmas in the entire world. We ask the Krishna to take care of each and every one of them, but special care to our Mama Parmasar and our Guruji. We close our eyes and we bow our heads and we pray. Om Gajananam Bhutagana Sevitam Kapita Jambu Palasara Vakshitam Umasudam Shoka Vinashakarakam Namami Vigne Ishwarapari Pankajam. Om Gurura Brahma Gurura Vishnu Gurura Devo Maheshwaram Gurura Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Shama Shivaratri Swaha Swara Namaste. Om Trayambakam Yajamini Shugandim Pushpim Vardhanam Urvarokamiva Vandana Mrichur Mokshadayamrita. Om Tat Purushaya Vidmahi Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodayam. Om Sri Guru Charana Sarojaraja Nijamana Mukarasura Varanao Raghuvar Vimayesha Jodai Kapalaja Buddhahina Tanujanike Sumiro Pavan Kumar Balabudi Vidya Devuhi Arahu Kameshwarika. Om Ham Harimattai Namah. Om Yam Brahma Varunitra Varta Stunvanti Jagay Sadai Vedai Sang Prada Pramo Prashadai Gayanti Ama Samagah. Om Dhyan Vashtattatena Manas Pashantyam Yogino Yasyandam Surasuragan Dayatasmai Namaha. Preti Shanti Atma Shanti Tabo Pratishtita. Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai. Bolo Sri Krishna Bhagwan ki Jai. So, today I had planned a whole katha to do, and I would not let that katha go to waste. It is such a meaningful katha in the sense that it has a lot to do with why we do what we do when somebody dies. And the katha is where Bharat and Satrahan had left Ayodhya. And devotees, as they left Ayodhya, they went to their maternal grandparents to visit. Bharat and Satrahan didn't know anything that was happening in the palace. And what was happening in the palace? Prabhu Sri Ram had been banished to the Dandaka forest for 14 years. And Mother Kekayi had asked for those 2 boons of Raja Dasratji. And Bharat and Satrahan are on their way home. A message was sent to them to come home. Something has happened. You know, there's a way we give a message. In our temple, we have a network. It goes on the network. One person will call the other, and we say, well, how are we going to tell this to everybody? And in a nice way, phone call after phone call will happen, and we get the message out. In those times, there were no cell phones. There were messengers. And Bharat and Satrahan were on their way home. Raja Dasrath was a king, but he was a father and he was a husband also. And you know, it is when we give our word, we always stand by our word. Our word means that today Shanta had invited you to come to listen to Katha, Satsang, and you have given her word that you will be here. If you can't come, a message is sent. And so the message was sent, and Raja Dasrath, at the point where he could not handle the grief of not having his son. His son Sri Ram was supposed to become king of Ayodhya. He was supposed to become king of Ayodhya. And here it is, his own mother had asked for him to not be crowned because she wanted Bharat to become king of Ayodhya. And I think this is where the stigmatism of when we allow ourselves to poison our minds. You know, like somebody tell you, when you know, Shana invite me, but she really want to invite me. And you don't know that, but you say, well, see that, I ain't going. Because you don't know if it's truth or not. But your mind is already poisoned. And Mantra had poisoned the mind of Keki. She told Keki, if Prabhu Sri Ram is allowed to become king, what will happen to your son? Your son will become a servant to him. She's putting that wedge between a mother and a son. And she's putting that wedge between brother and brother. And who is she? Nobody, an outsider. You never allow or outside interference into your family. But Mantra had created that difference between, that poisoned the mind of Keki, that created the difference between she being happy for Prabhu Sri Ram, but then she's thinking, my son will have no point in Ayodhya. And so she asked for those boons of Raja Dasrath. And Raja Dasrath You know what it feels like. I mean, we won't know. For some of us, Auntie Joy would know, who have lost a child. She would know the pain that she has gone through. Auntie Subhagi, recently, she would know the pain of losing a child. Sometimes, as mothers, we say it's best, go take my life, but don't have to take my children's life. Because you know you have lived your life. And you want your children to live their life. And you would only want the best for your children. And they say women can handle pain. Some men can't. On social media there's a little article that goes like, when a man has the cold, it's like he has given birth. He has been in 10 months labor. And when a woman gets sick, she's like normal and she has to do all her housework. It is because of the strength of a mother. And Kiki felt so fulfilled that she had now asked for these bones, and my son, and when Bharat is coming back, he is going to be crowned king of Ayodhya. But Raja Dashrath could not take the pain of separation from his son. Just imagine, Shanta would know, Rajiv is not here. He's in another country. She would know the pain when she called on the phone and said, son, how are you? But mommy, I'm not feeling well. She starts to feel the pain of her child. When our children are sick, we feel the pain. Because I can't function. Because you want them to feel better and then anything else could go. So Raja Dashrath is feeling the pain. And he can't handle the pain. He can't have died. He couldn't take the pain anymore. And we were just speaking of why long time people would name their children. They live a long time now too. We name our children Ram and Krishna and Shiva because we are so attached to our children. So at that point when our life is about to leave our body, we are thinking about the bank account, we're not thinking about the house, we're not even thinking sometimes of the husband or the wife. We're thinking what is going to happen to our children. And we scream out to them, Ram, Shiva, because we are not able to concentrate. I know our Guruji, every evening, he would say that prayer, we would chant with him. Even he couldn't open his lips to say it, but he would hum. So Raja Dashrath could not handle that pain of separation from his son. And because of that separation from his son, exactly 6 days after, Prabhu Sri Ram left for the Dandaka forest for exile for 14 years, Raja Dashrath had passed. And we will tell you, we'll sing a few versions and then we'll continue with the second part. So I think everybody can look at the version already. Okay, while they look in, I think that's what we start to look.
Bajage Thank you. Lakshmi
सिंह माता पुत्र से प्यार कौन करेगा इतना and nothing is more what is there bigger than the love of a mother for a child and we know that with Mama Parvisa and Baba also. So the same way Raja Dasratha was grieving, same way Mama Parvisa would feel the same way for her children. So there we sing and then we go to the continuation of the Katha. माता पुत्र से प्यार किया है जितना कौन करेगा इतना कौन करेगा इतना माँ ने हमको प्यार किया है जितना कौन करेगा इतना My mother would have kept me inside of her for 9 months. जब वे दुनिया में आए, they bring me into the world, in this world. सारे लगे को गोद में लाकर संत दूध पिलाया. She would put me on her lap and she would feed me milk. Now most of us would not remember that because we were too small. Because when we have children, we wonder what I would have been like when I was that age. And Mama Parmesa would have done that to her children, each one of them, and she had more boys. She would have treated them the same, made them their tea, put them on her lap, gave them that love. Baba would have done the same thing. Because Baba would have grieved when his son passed away. We saw him in grief. So it is the same connection now that Baba would have and Mama Parmesa, the mother and father of Ayodhya. Raja Dasratha had passed. Bharat and Satrahan, they don't know what is going on as yet. They are yet to come to Ayodhya to find out. And as they are coming, they have now reached Ayodhya. And devotees, as they have reached Ayodhya, you know, like with this music, everything is so quiet. And you could only hear me. You could not even hear the birds were making noise. You know, there is a saying, and sometimes when I talk to Tati Willis, sometime in the morning when I get up and I say, Tati, you know, today feeling like, you know, like when I have a death in the village, and the place is so quiet and the place is so calm, you get a different feeling. There's a coldness in the air. Most of us would have experienced that. Sri Prabhu Sri Ram, Lakshman and Sita Mata have gone into the Dandika forest. But Bharat and Shatrughan does not know. And as they have come to Ayodhya, the first place a child will go would be to his mother. Most children go to their father too, eh? But the child will go to his or her mother. So Bharat, first place he goes is into the quarters of Kekeyi Mata. And as he goes to the quarters of Kekeyi Mata, he's noticing as he's walking that everybody is not adorned in all the jewelry that they normally have, that the palace would normally, his mother's, they are wearing plain colors. But he goes to Mother Kekeyi first into her quarters and he sees her all dressed up. And he says, Mother, why is everything so quiet? And then she tells him, she says, son, she gives Arti. And she tells him that now you're going to be king of Ayodhya. So he's puzzled. So how am I going to be king of Ayodhya? And then he is told that his brother Prabhu Sri Ram had been banished to the Dandika forest 14 years. And when he has asked his mother, well, how come he is gone? How did that happen? Then she tells him of the 2 boons that she has asked of Raja Dasura. And yet he doesn't know his father is not alive. Because his mother is happy. And when she tells him that your father is no more, that is why we sent for you all, then he starts to feel the pain of confusion. You know, that the pain that Chantada would have felt when they heard that Sudesha passed away. Not being able to see, not being able to feel, not being able to go. Bharat is feeling the same way because he was not there when his father had passed away. You feel as if you have missed out on something. And now he starts to blame his mother. He starts to feel not pain anymore but anger. And as parents, as children would look up to us, they would say our parents can't do no wrong. We set the examples for children, especially mothers. Especially mothers. And he's looking at Keke and he said, look at the wrong that you have done. You sent my brother to Banwas to sleep on the ground. Having him given up all the ornaments, the slippers on his feet, in the garb of an ascetic, to sleep on the ground. Are they your words because you want me to be king? He said, never. That will never happen. In this Kali Yuga, there is a lot of families that the same situation had happened. But in the other sense, they put out the mother and father. They make them sign over everything and they get the house and land. For greed, material things. Children will be fighting, brothers and sisters will be fighting for house and land and money and rights. And at the end of it, COVID has taught us that no amount of money we have will change the situation that we would end up in. The rich and the poor end up in Cuba. They didn't ask you your title, they didn't ask you how much money you have. Everybody were given the same priority, the rich and the poor. And when they die, the same amount of trouble you have to go through. It is the same thing. Ramayan teaches us now the value of family, of mother, father, brother, sister. Is only for those of us like myself and others who don't have brothers and sisters, they would they grieve to see to feel the love of brotherhood and sisterhood between in a family. You grieve for our mother's love, you grieve for our father's love. But I guess here now we don't have to grieve anymore because Baba has given us that. Mama Parmasar has given us that. And he has given us you all. You all are the elders to us. We are the elders to each other's children. And in our temple, I must see, we share that brotherhood and sisterhood. Because I have brothers. And I know that they will stand up for me. I have sisters who are more than sisters to me. I have mothers who are more than mothers to me. Ramayan now. Bharat is saying, I don't want to. He said, today, having a mother like you is not a blessing, it's a curse. And the sarap that Bharat had given to his mother will now be told. He said, today, my mother, you have given me life, but what you have done, I wish that you would have taken my life, then given me this honor of taking away the honor of being the king of Ayodhya from my brother. To give me, that's my brother's right, that's not mine. How many children will think that way? And the mother had a bearer. They say, mother said, well, the big son had to get a bearer. I said, but now that had to be mine. And the mother said, well, you take it now. And then fights that. It is always about the material things. And Bharat is saying, no. He said, just as my brother is lying on the ground, sleeping on a bed of grass, I too will sleep on a bed of grass. My brother is not eating meals cooked in the palace, I too will not eat meals cooked in the palace. I will suffer the same just as my brother is suffering. But today, the sarap that I give to you, I would never, never call you mother again. Could you imagine your children telling you that? Could you imagine, you feel as if the earth can open and you can go into the earth when your children tell you, I don't want to have you as a mother anymore. It is the same pain when children are not speaking to their mothers and fathers. But when they die, they come and they hold their foot and they bawl and cry, but they don't know. The death of a child can never be repaid to their parent. No matter how many wrong your parent do, your parent is your first God. Your mother and father have given you life, your mother especially. And Bharat is saying, I would never enter these quarters as long as I live. And the sarab that I give, I would never call you mother in my life again. And he left. And the pain of separation that Mother Kiki felt, I don't think I could even think how the hurt that she would have gone through. And you know where he went after? He left. And he went to the quarters of Mother Kausalya. All three queens, Sumitra, Kekeyi, and Kausalya, never ever treated any of the children differently. They didn't say that was Kekeyi's son and that's Sumitra's son and that's my son. Our children. All the children were taught to pay due respect to their mothers. How many of us teach that to our children? One thing I know is when the children come to the temple and they forget to bow, their parents will tell them, hello, the pandit, bow. When they do arti for the elders, you need to bow. The blessing that you get from your elders, you would never get it from anybody else. The blessing you get from your mother and father, no individual on earth, not even your pandit, can give you that blessing. Not even your pandit can give you that blessing that your mother and father will give you on that day. That is why, to this day, thinking about it makes me emotional to know that when my guru would sit right where Raj is sitting, and many of the time I would bow to the ground to his feet, because that debt that I owe to him, I owe to him everything that I am. I am who I am because of him. And many of us, as children, Kekeyi is going through so much of pain now when he goes straight to Kausalya. And devotees, we sing a few bhajans again and then the other part. So it's not actually reading from Chaupai by Chaupai, but it's a condensed form. It is the Katha. This is Satsang. When you go home, you take this with you. So we sing a few more bhajans and then we go to the other part.
we have to do. We have done it so many times. And Bharat gets up the courage and he goes, stands up, and you know what he does? He picks himself up and he started to read from the various Purans and the Vedas. It is there we get satsang from. Ramayana teaches us that Bharat and Shatrughan, when they found out what was going on, the final rites for his father and finished the final rites. As he finished the final rites, he tells his mothers, he said, you are not to go to the cremation site of the banks of the Sarayu River. That pyre was built on the banks of the Sarayu River, waiting by. It was fashioned that wives were not supposed to go to see the burning of their husbands. So we tell the wife, you can't go, you have to remain here. You have to remain home. You know why? Bharaji wanted to save his mothers the grief of seeing their body go into the fire. Because what they see would never be unseen. Today, I could never unsee my guru. I don't think I can remember what my grandmother and grandfather looked like when they went into the fire. But I remember very, very clearly what my guru looked like when he was going in there. He saved his parents, his mothers from seeing that. So this is why we say, the old people say, no, the wife can't go, you have to stay home. But believe me, you want to see. We will all end up in that situation one day, once we are married. And it is a situation we don't want to even think about. And devotees, Bharat had now done the rites for his father, and he is now going to observe the Dasgard. The Dasgard is a 10 days, Dasgard, the 10 days that you would observe an offering of the Pinda. And the offering of the Pinda are so important for those 10 days. It is a connection that it is your sankalp. You see, when you shave the head, today I made a post because somebody had asked me, why we shave the head for shaving? What is the main reason why we shave the head? Because when I have to do a funeral, at the beginning, I tell you on the day of the rites, you have to shave your head. That is compulsory with me. It means that you are taking a sankalp. And what's a sankalp? You're taking on the responsibility of completing this 10 days, 13 days. And by giving up that hair from your head, the hair is a beauty. That's why women don't really shave their head. In parts of India, when the husband dies, the widow would shave her head and she would wear her orni on her head all the time. But a woman's strength is her hair. A man would shave their head. The males would shave their head because they're going to get rid of the ego, the pride, and they're going to bring in humility and responsibility. That today I'm taking that sankalp. When you leave that little churki behind of the head, I'm taking the sankalp so that for the next 13 days I know what I have to do. And the next shaving would take place on the 10th day, the Dasgard, the 10th day. It is just a period of showing respect for the departed soul. So Bharaji would have done that. He would offer his pindas, all at the advice of the gurus. And whatever he was told to do, he did 10 times more because he so wanted his father's Atma to be blessed. He gave gold and land and money and food, abundance of food, thrones he gave because he wanted his father's Atma to rest. He wanted his father's Atma to be so blessed. And Bharaji took the responsibility of the family. This is the reason why we have fashioned what we do for when a person dies. There are many, many explanations, and many times I will explain it over and over. There is more in it I had planned to do today, but this was the katha that I was doing, and I wanted to do it, and I wanted to complete it. Because it has a lot of meaning. Many times we think the Pandit only tell me they have some book that write we have to do offer 10 pinda, and it has some book that write that we have to shave we head, and it has some book that that write we have to do this, and it has some book that write we have to take out all the curtains in the house, and it has some books say we can't do puja, we can't light a diya, we can't do nothing in the house. So it is not written in any book. It is pundits like ourselves who have looked at the scriptures and prepared for you a period of mourning and a ritual. These rituals were prepared, taken from the Garud Puran, Ramayan as you see, and most of our tradition are taken, you see the tradition of the Satsang. When Bharatji tried to calm, this is the calm that we would have. Satsang does not mean you have to have tassa and you have to have good drumming and good harmonium playing and you have to have narrating. Nobody is a professional narrator. Everybody will have their own signature, their own way of performing puja, their own way of narrating. And for me, it is the best way that you can explain it to someone. When you go to scripture and quote scriptures, you as the individual will not be able to understand what the Pandit says. But in a simplified way, this is what it was taken from. Satsang was taken from Ramayana, where Bharatji did Satsang. He tried to calm his parents, his mothers, and he read to them from the Vedas and the Puranas. Then when they were going to the cremation site, he said, no, you remain here, wait on my brother. Wait to see Prabhu Sri Ram. He didn't want them to go, and they remained. Hence the reason why the elders would tell us the wife can't go to the cremation site. You see where he have offered, you see where in Ramayana, Bharat did the Dasgard, which is the 10 days. So all these things that we think that is unnecessary. I did a funeral. My aunt had asked me, she said, these people, they don't have a guru, they don't have a pandit, and can you come and perform the last rites? I said, no problem. Because of my aunt, I went. And the son said to me, he said, listen, we're doing the funeral. I'm not doing no bandara, I'm not doing no shaving nothing. We can do everything today. I said, well, you didn't need a pandit. With that sort of mentality, you didn't need a pandit. You cannot speak to the pandit in that tone of voice. You need to come to the pandit and ask, can I, will I, would I be able? Not, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing this and I ain't doing that. Because when your father was alive, he would have fed you, gave you an education, made you whole, made you into the man that you are today. Yet when your father is no more, you cannot do for him the last rites. And I did it. And I came home that day and I said, look at the extent that some children would go. Just dispose of the body. As faster we burn the body, the better. Faster we do the funeral, the better. I said, well, I can't do it tomorrow. You want me to do it tomorrow? I can't. Well, we can do it Saturday morning. I said, well, yes, I can, but you'll have to wait until I have Hanuman Puja to do, so when I'm finished, and then we can do it. But you can reach there for 7:30. No, I can't. The mentality alone tells you that they just want to get rid of the body. Bharatji, he was not that sort of son. We live our life, and there is one thing that you have to do in your life that will correct all the sins that you have committed in your whole life. And you know what is that? Doing for your mother and father. Serving your parents. Don't matter if your mother and father, they're mean to you, they're hostile to you. Your mother and father is your mother and father. That last rites that you will do for your parents, once you have health and strength to do it, do it. Do it. So today's katha was supposed to be a little more than this, but in a summarized way. I think if we take page from page in the Ramayana, we learn so much. We learn so much. And for us, we were saying that, God giving us too much, you can't handle it. But because you can go home and you remember, Pandita said so and so, and this is why we do so and so. And it is always fashioned after, something. Everything, people think that everything is scripture. And I use that word a lot. Because before COVID, we would go to the banks of the river and we would do a shaving. When COVID came along, we couldn't go to the banks of the river. So what you would have done? I had a shaving to do, and I tell them, go to the neighbor, and you get a loach of water. You shave your head and so. You can't go to the river. You can't go to the river. You come home, you fill a load of water from there, you do your rites there, then you come and sprinkle it to your home. That's your shaving. At different points in time, things have to be done. It has to be done. It has to be done. Even if, God forbid, that brother could not have come down to do his part, we were ready and able to do it as the women in our temple. I think for Laura's grandmother also, when nobody wanted to, we were able, we were willing. Everything has to happen, will happen, and there is always a way. Whether it's a man or a woman performing rites, it is being performed in Ramayan. My next katha would be where Sita Mata would have done the shroud for her father-in-law. So that would be the other katha. So you see, Ramayan is not only about Ravan would kidnap Mother Sita and Prabhu Ram would go in search of Ravan and kill Ravan. There are lots and lots of meaningful kathas in the Ramayan, especially concerning our Antishti Sanskar and our Shraddh. So before we close, we sing one bhajan because today we honor the mother Mama Parmasar, and the father, which was our Guruji. So we sing Tumi Humata, Pita Tumi, and then we will do a final closing mantra. So devotees, join with us. So we will join together. Today, we know if Mama Parmasar would have been here, she would have been FaceTiming us. And if Guruji would have been here, he would have been sitting where Raj is sitting. So Raj has taken up the role. So today we close our eyes, we bow our heads and we sing. So we close our eyes, but you can concentrate and sing. Tumhi hu mata pita tumhi hu. Tumhi hu bandhu sakha tumhi hu. You are everything to me. You're a friend, you're a family, you're everything to me. So we sing. Tumhi ho mata pita tumhi ho. Tumhi ho bandhu sakha tumhi ho maa. Tumhi ho mata pita tumhi ho. Tumhi ho bandhu sakha tumhi ho maa. Oh maa, oh maa, oh maa, oh maa, oh So devotees, this was, we'll come to the end of tonight's satsang, and at this point in time we ask everyone to please let us close our eyes, let us bow our heads, and let us again pray for all the lost souls that didn't pray again. We pray for the Atma of Rakesh Ji, the son of Tante Subhagi, Uncle George, Medhavaranam Subhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanenam Yogi Vidyan Gamyam Vande Vishnu Bhavavayaharam Sarvaloke Kanatam Om Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Shasaka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. As we raise our hands in the air for Jaykar, Bolo Sri Mahapati Mahadev ki Jai, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai, Ayodhyapati Sri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki Jai, Pawan Putra Hanuman Swami ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Sarva Deviyo ki Jai, Sarva Devta ki Jai, Bolo Sri Sat Sanatan Dharma ki Jai, Jai 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 Sitaram. Ram Naam, Ram Naam, Ram Naam. Bolo Sri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. So devotees, let me remind you again that our next service will be on the 9th of June, will be next week Tuesday, and the Lord will sit down to do our work. And on the 13th, we will have our Satnarayan offering. We are not doing Jandi Puja until the 1 year for Guruji. So we do the Satnarayan Vrat, we will fast, we come and do our Havan, and after that we'll have our Ramayan and Satsang. Yeah, it's going to be on Tuesday. So it is going to be on the 30th of June. So you are invited. I will write the board any day before next week. I will write the board. So we will have an idea. So when you come, you will see the board. So we will decide as this month go by what next month will hold. Whether we will continue having service every Thursday or so. Right? So for this month, we will have on the 9th, the 13th, and the 30th. So it is on the group chat. For those of you who are on the temple's group chat, it is there. So, and I always call one another. You know, Tanti Dory, so I call me. Yeah, so at this point in time, we asked Rab to say a few closing words.
Alright, Sitaram everybody. Alright. I'd like to thank you all again for coming. You know, as we continue every month. We'd also like to thank the group, even Laura for coming to making a special effort. And thank you, Pandita Lisa as always. We always appreciate everything you do for us and for the temple. For giving us that sense of comfort every month, every anniversary with us. Thanks to everybody both online and in person who's been taking time out from their days and nights to come spend with us in Satsang and Kirtan. We appreciate it so much and we continue to do this every month. Sitaram everybody.
Yes, I forgot those who are viewing online. Thank you so much for having the patience with us. And today's satsang, we didn't have the best of musicians and all that, but the vibrations were strong. You know, when you have to do something, my Guru always told us, when you don't have something, you make do what you have. And as I was telling somebody, I said, we were never taught, the only thing I learned to play professionally was the harmonium, and I still can't play it. And you know, when there was no drummer, we would pick up the drum, we would sing. We are not professionals, but our Guruji taught us that we don't sing and we don't play our instruments for rewards. We play it because we want to get it done. And we enjoy it. And this is what we would live by. Mama Parmasar, her love and our Guruji's teachings, I think it's the mother and father combo. So, if they are looking down on us, we ask their blessings. And because we always ask Sri Krishna to bless them and bless the family. We ask that Sri Krishna gives the family of Mama Parmasar, Sadgati, all the families who have lost a loved one, of the Loach, and even Shanta and all of us, because we are a family. A family that prays together, stays together. Sitaram, and have a blessed evening. Love and blessings always, and love you. Right? Have a safe journey home. Please don't leave. Light refreshments have been prepared. Please don't leave without partaking. So again, don't forget our next service is on the 9th of June. Our next Ramayan will be on the 30th of June. Sitaram.
Plenty tonight. Yeah, I'll eat plenty tonight.
Chả thấy phúc chả